Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here, and today we will be taking a quick look at the demo for Orcs Must Die 2. This demo is currently available for download for free on the Steam store, and the full game actually comes out tomorrow, Monday, July 30th. In this video, we will just be looking at the demo, however, which is the first couple of levels of the game, and I just want to show you guys the game and give you a good idea of what to expect for when the full game goes live. Starting out here, you actually have the option of choosing between two characters, the War Mage, who was the character that you played as in the first game, or the Sorceress, which is the newly added character. And we are going to go with the Sorceress just because it is something new. However, with that said, do keep in mind that new things have also been added for the War Mage. So if you've played the first Orcs Must Die, playing the War Mage again isn't going to give you exactly the same experience because there are some new things for him. And you're going to notice here, it actually dumps you right into a campaign menu, which will, when the full game comes out, let you select between the game modes, the difficulties. Unfortunately, right now, can only actually play as War Mage or Apprentice. Obviously going to pick the hardest one that we have the availability of. There are some leaderboards. It actually shows you your top 10 friends as well. Quick access to creating a party and a spellbook. Pretty nice interface here that it shows you. A little cartoony, but that's just the overall theme of the game. So there you go. And let's jump right into it. And it's actually going to start off with a little cutscene, which we will take a look at.
Was this how it would end? Trapped, surrounded, my power lost. I deserved so much more. They were coming for me. Once I was their queen, now they would be my doom. Then, out of nowhere, new rift? It was different, fragile. I felt a trickle of power returning, barely there. Not enough to mind control even a single orc. Still, the rift offered an escape. As soon as I stepped through, I saw him, standing right in front of me with that ridiculous grin plastered across his face. I only had one thing to say: run!
They're not friends. Don't want to spoil anything, but they are not friends at all. All right, let's go ahead and get things started here. So starting out, you're actually going to open the spellbook with B, and it lets you select and slot which of the abilities that you have access to that you want. Now, right now I only have access to these three: my Scepter, Ice Vent, and Acid Sprayer. However, in the future, you know, especially when the game's live, you get to select from a huge list of different traps that you want to use. So that's where a lot of the strategy comes involved. Depending on the enemies that you're up against, again, you can see it's going to show the types of enemies that we're going to face in these upcoming waves. That'll determine what type of traps that you want to use. And so again, there is a kind of a strategic aspect to it in that sense, most certainly. All right, so we've got our currency on the bottom left. To the upper right is the mini-map. It shows where the orcs are going to be coming from. It also shows the route that they're going to be taking, and their eventual goal is to get over here and make it through this, and this is what I'm trying to prevent them from doing there. Not even trying, succeeding. I'm going to succeed in preventing them from doing that. And then we've got our traps, which you can lay in certain positions. It is going to show you where you can place what type of trap. There are traps that can go on the ceiling. There are traps that can go on the floor. We're going to start off with the Acid Sprayer here. I'm going to place a few of these. And also going to lay down, I think, a couple of these here. And these are the frost traps on the ground, which will slow up the orcs. And I'm going to hold on to my remainder of money. I can't really spend it at all. And we're going to unleash the first wave.
Let's begin.
Alright, so I've got a basic attack which can go quickly, or I can charge it up for some AoE damage. You're going to notice right there some splash damage. Also, there's a mana bar that you notice. If you look at the upper left, there's my health bar plus a mana bar. The mana bar has an alternate, is basically the resource for your alternate attack. Now, my alternate attack on this weapon is actually a temporary charm. So watch this. I can charm enemies and they fight for me. Really, really awesome. And you know, this works on larger enemies as well. I'm not sure, maybe there'll be certain enemies that won't be able to be mind controlled, but everything here in the demo can be. And actually, you're gonna know some pretty huge enemies coming up in the future that I'll be able to mind control. All right, let's go ahead and, so I like to start off here. Try to get an AoE and a big group of them, and they get a couple of charms off so they fight each other. Here's a skull Skull is actually what you use to purchase upgrades and new abilities, essentially. And we're going to charm a couple more of these so they fight each other. And you're going to notice actually they do a little stun against each other when you do that too, which is phenomenal. Still got a little bit more. Oh boy, I wanted to AoE that. So, this guy's stronger, gonna control him so that he fights those guys there. And there you go, second wave complete. We lay down another frost trap. And then I think go with one acid, one right there, and that should do it. Take that guy. There we go. Have them fight back there. And the great thing is too, they clump each. When that happens, they clump up because the other orcs will turn to fight whoever you control, and so you can get them to clump up and then just AoE, just like that. Now these first couple of waves, again, the demo only consists of the first 2 waves. They're not incredibly difficult. And I guess that's the problem with a lot of demos, is that you don't really get, you know, it does give you a small taste of the game, but you don't get a clear idea of what the game consists of at the higher level, which is, you know, that's where most of the fun comes from. And in this game in particular, most of the fun is going to come from the later levels when you're higher up, and there's all different sorts of enemy types, and you've got tons of different traps available. And we will take a look at some of the traps as well, don't worry. And this is actually the final wave, so I'm just gonna get a couple of those down, and let's just pretend, you know, maybe they happen to make it down over here. A couple of those down as well. All right, so there you go. Unleash the next wave. This will be the final wave here. And my mana does slowly recharge. Let them all group up, and then bam. I find that to be so strong. And I could do things like shoot from across the way. I don't even necessarily have to be standing here where I'm standing now. Let me try to show you here in a reasonable manner. I'm gonna let those guys go, and then just gonna go. So yeah, I could you know, I could just shoot from here, and that'd be fun if we start to get overwhelmed or whatever, you know. And that's something that could happen, but I mean, really no reason to. Let me just wrap back around. See if anyone even made it very far. I have to say I doubt it. Yeah. No one made it very far. But this is the game. I mean, there are waves of enemies, and you defend against them. Welcome to Orcs Must Die 2. The really great thing, though, with this sequel is that they have added co-op. The original game didn't have co-op, and it has now been added in this version. And so you can play with friends, which is something that was really desperately needed in the first game. And luckily they finally decide to add it. And we win, and my girl does a little funky dance. And there you go. And I got all 5 skulls. That means I, you know, pretty much a flawless victory. And now the skulls there, you're gonna notice I got the bonus skulls with a total of 9 skulls. I was awarded a new trap, and we're gonna go into the spellbook now just to take a look at this. So this is the spellbook. And let's talk about this for a moment. You can take a look at your currently available gear. I've got these right here. So these are the 4 that I have access to. Now, starting at the tab, this is your current stuff. That's the My Gear tab right here. And then you go down into traps, weapons, trinkets, and vanity, which is basically character skins. Now, I can't buy most of this stuff in the demo. Like, I can't buy anything here. This is all locked. So I can't buy any trinkets. I can't buy any vanity items. That is all locked. That's just the one that I have. I can get upgrades, however, for my scepter, and I can get upgrades for the traps that I have. I can also purchase this new trap, the Haymaker, but I don't want to waste 7 skulls on that. That's a lot. I'd rather get some upgrades here. So let's start off first with a weapon. So you're going to notice the first weapon upgrade here. Charm lasts longer, and Charm Death causes more damage. So I'm going to purchase that for 2 skulls. I'm going to go into our traps here. We can upgrade the acid sprayer to do more damage. We can upgrade this to reset faster, which means it'll freeze more often. And then we also have these spike traps here, which I don't know. Let me go with these. Let me get these here. So I'm going to upgrade that. And the spike traps, I don't have enough. So I'll continue to play, unlock more skulls. And, you know, if you're wondering kind of what are you going to have access to, well, let's take a look here at the traps. Haymaker. Archers, you can summon some archers. There's an auto ballista. I don't need to click into those. Barricade there to block enemies. Bear trap. Works as expected. Boom barrel. So explosive barrels that you can place down. Boom barrel dispenser. That's hilarious. Boulder chute. And I mean, the list goes on and on here, and you can pause it to read through these. I don't want to read through all of these and spend 5 minutes doing that, but you can see just a wide array of various traps available. Also, weapons. Quite a few weapons available to you as well. There's gauntlets, rings, belts, amulets. I could get a crossbow, blade staff, bone amulet. Which actually you can purchase this in the demo. Increases bone golem health and damage. Interesting. And then here are some trinkets. Berserker trinket, defensive trinket, healing trinket. So there's a level of customization in this game, and all of these things also have multiple levels. It's not just to unlock it in that set. So it's, you know, it's sort of a progression system that they've added here. But that is pretty much all of that. Now let's go ahead and continue, which is going to move us on to level number 2. That is available here in the beta, which is the tunnels. So this actually starts to show you some of the real variation that takes place, and it gets more and more intense as time goes on. Let's pick up the spike traps there. All right, so what I was saying there though is that you know, this time there's actually going to be monsters coming out of 2 tunnels instead of just 1. So you've got to contend with defending 2 areas, and that's certainly where having a partner can assist as well. And you've got this interesting little mechanic here. You can actually switch the direction that these carts go down, and the reason that's important, or that can help you, is that these carts can actually hit and, you know, knock down the orcs that happen to get within its path. So that's a pretty interesting thing that you have access to. And again, it just starts to show some of the variation. And as time goes on and you progress through the game, things do get more and more complicated. The level layouts, the way orcs are thrown at you. You're gonna notice here, big on the mini map, there's that big icon there that's showing you where the next wave is coming through, and that is going to be through right here. And I don't want to waste all of my stuff right now because I know that there's going to be actually a wave coming through here in the next round. So with that said, with that in mind, let's just prepare for that now, shall we? So there we go. So now I've got coverage on both sides. Let's go ahead and start the first wave. And I'm going to open up with a charm pretty much immediately. And wow, he's not even fighting anyone. That bugged out, huh? Look at that. Guy's just standing there. That's a bummer. Guess I have to wait till he actually gets out a little bit for that to actually work. Did I miss? Are you kidding me? Well, it's been pretty fail so far. My charming has been failing. I lack charm, evidently. There we go, finally. So again, get them clumped up, cause that explosion, and then finish them off. And I think, let's see here, I got a couple more guys. And there you go. So now the other side is opening up, a couple of seconds. And we're gonna just do that over again. Now let me go with one here. And get ready to place one over here as well. There we go. All right, so next, I love the charm ability. I think it's amazing, actually. And later on, too, as we continue to work our way through here, you'll see how effective it can be. Okay, that was ineffective. That was effective, though. No, it wasn't even that. Oh my god, I'm still alive. Alright, so take him out, and we're gonna get another group there. And again, it's they explode upon death, which is so awesome. Alright, now I think maybe start to lay down some spike traps. I think I'd like to do a little bit of that.
I have never been more ready.
There we go. This is where things are going to start to get a little more difficult because we will have guys coming out of both sides, as you can see there. Get a charm off if we can. We also, now we have the backup spike traps if they get through the first wave. of acid plus the snare. And I think from there, let's go with another one of those. Another one of those there. Alright. And you're going to notice right there, I can lay down these traps from pretty long range. I guess the biggest thing is just making sure that you're careful to actually land them, you know what I mean? Because that could be bad news bears if you missed it. Alright, let's go with a second wave of spike traps, actually. What I was trying to say there, which I think I botched, was just make sure that your placement is proper. There we go. Because that could be a huge headache if you place things in the wrong spot. All right, so pretty good defenses here we got, if I do say so myself.
Watch out. When that elemental falls to pieces, you'll be behind.
Elemental, mind control. Thank you. Yes, fight for me, elemental. Now, when the elementals die, they actually split up into multiple elementals. That guy turn around and fight. There we go. They are starting to get through a little bit, though. It's not good.
My sprinklers, little orcs.
Mind control him. Fight for me, please. Gosh, they take so much damage. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, awesome. Wave 5 of 5. This is going to be the final wave, guys. Let's go with some more acid on the walls there. And let's go with another set of, let's see, I can afford 3 of these.
Orcs have so many parts.
That guy there. He dies. Final wave. Let's see if we can do it without anyone getting... Actually, has someone already gotten through? Really? Did I miss that? It's a bummer. Control him again. Hopefully he turns around eventually. There it is. Oh. Gosh. There it is. Turn around and fight for me, please. Thank you. And what else we got up here? Another elemental. And I think he's the last of them. Is he? Really? And there is the win. Alright guys, so this has been a quick look at the demo for Orcs Must Die 2. Again, the demo is currently available for download on the Steam store. I will provide you with a link in the video description below. And if you happen to like the demo, well, you can play the full game in not too long from now. In fact, just a few days. Not even a few days. What am I talking about? You can play tomorrow. Monday, July 30th is when the full game does come out, and you can actually get your hands on it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.